Be live. We should
Hello,
be live. Hey, hey, hey.
How y'all doing today?
Facebook is the place to be.
That's right.
What's
is Tuesday. Tuesday, the 26th of June.
Hey, everybody. So it's crazy, right? It's just crazy. It's the 26th of June already. Who knew, that it would get so close this quick, right? Like it is here. It is on top of us.
I'm telling you. Hey, Josh, what are you doing, buddy?
Crazy. Hey, Josh, get with me after this call, please, sir. So I'm trying to get in case you're wondering, trying to get my Facebook up on my phone. Sorry.
Hey, Jeff.
So, hey, Jeff Boltinghouse.
What's going on?
Buddy? What's up?
Hey, wait, I got my Facebook up first this time.
Yeah, you did. And
That's
I'm
like
still
a first.
trying.
That's an absolute first.
I think you were ready and I wasn't.
Yeah.
Because I looked up and it's like, oh my God, it's 2 minutes after 2. We were supposed to hit the live button.
Well,
so, at the end,
figure out what we were going to talk about today. You know that?
What's that?
We got to talk about something else and we got to figure out what we were talking about.
It's all good. We got this.
Yeah. I know.
So, here's
is everybody trying to buy Bitcoin right now? You should
Probably.
Should be.
This is what I want to say about the 26th of June.
Renee.
Okay. Here we are, and it's the 26th of June, literally. So my question to everybody is, are you where you want to be?
Yep.
Did you reach the goals that you had set to have in place by this time of June? Because at the end of the day, everybody knows and everybody sets up goals, and we all do it. Everybody does it. Whether you write them down or they're just in the back of your mind, or you're looking at something that maybe somebody else said something about, and it's like it triggers something in your head that says, oh yeah, I had I had that too, right? I had a goal. Well, my guess is that 90% of the people cannot answer that question yes, that they're where they want to be right now. So what I'm going to say about that is the good news is you still have 5 months. 5 months. Now, why does that matter? It matters because, as the months go by, as the days go by, as the weeks go by, everything happens kind of in slow motion until the end of the year.
Yeah, it does.
It is like, I'm telling y'all, it is like October comes and it's Halloween, and the next thing you know, it's a new year. And so I want everybody to just kind of revisit their goals, revisit their situation, see where they're at currently, how they're feeling about where they are currently, and where they want to go from here. So it looks like we have quite a few folks on with us this morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Wherever you are. So, we're going to talk about change and social media today because as a dadpreneur, right? As a dadpreneur, Joe and I are constantly trying to teach our children that change is inevitable, that change is something that happens on a daily basis. And my son just said a few minutes ago at lunch, and Joe was on the horn with me. Yep. And he said, I don't do well with change. And I said, well, you better get used to it because it happens every single day.
Every day.
And he was like, he blew up, he's like, and I said, well, I said, our driveway changed last night, right? Like we had a huge storm. There are a bunch of sticks all over the yard. The water washed from one side of the driveway to the other and washed out part of the driveway. That is a change. It's not something that I wanted, but it happened, right?
And it's not welcome change, but it's changed.
Yeah, exactly. So, what you need to realize is that when you get used to something, and I'm going to use Facebook as an example because we're on Facebook Live, and, Zuckerberg doesn't care if we talk about him. So, just when you get used to something being a certain way on Facebook, that's when you can look for it to go and change.
Yeah.
It's that way with everything.
Right now,
it's that way with
How
Twitter.
you get to our pages on some of them, Chris? Because there's so much stuff that it's asking you to do. Like, I mean, dude, they're spamming us to death. But because it's from Facebook, it's not spamming you, I guess. It was like, you need to upgrade this to boost this, to boost this, to boost this. And you're like, no. And you say no 100 times a day. And every time you go in, you get this big old thing. I mean, it's not that long. You know, it's a link to the phone almost. Of stuff, and you're scrolling through, and you're like, I'm just trying to get to my page.
Right.
Rough.
Or you get these messages, and some of you all may not be as familiar with these messages, but you get these messages that come across and say, you know, posts like this are being boosted. And if you boost this, you're going to get X amount more of exposure for this amount of money.
Right.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, we're all in it for exposure, right? Like, I mean, you're on Facebook for a reason. Now, you might have thought you joined Facebook as a social experiment, but what I can tell you is the social experiment ended long time ago.
Yeah, that's over. Yeah, that's
done.
It's everything now. Yep.
That's done. That is done. So what you're now in the middle of, whether you want to be or not, I mean, it is what it is. And we're getting commercials here on the TV about, especially late at night, about how Facebook's going to change its privacy settings, and it's going to go back to what it was originally. It's going to be friends and family saying hi and I love you and let me hug you. That's what it's going to say, right? But I haven't seen any of that. Like,
that'll be like an ad-free Facebook that you have a monthly charge for. You know, it's kind of like the boost things, and they're really pretty smart though, because they're only asking, like, I think I saw one that was $3, one that was $5, and one that was,
they start at $3. They start at $3.
And they're going in small increments, and that's actually really smart because I mean you can get the volume on it. You know, you're not getting huge sales every time, but you're getting millions and millions and hundreds of millions of sales. I don't know how many people are on Facebook, a billion or something.
I think so. Couple billion, I think.
Couple billion, yeah, $3 from a couple billion people.
Yeah,
do what the thing does anyways.
Yeah,
that's genius, actually.
So, you know, we can't fault Zuckerberg for his creation. We definitely can't. You know, any of us in his shoes, in his chair, would have done the exact same thing, and we would have capitalized on it the same way. But what I do want you to understand is that just because you get used to something being a certain way, don't expect it to be that way forever. Social media is a great example of this. Right. And, you know, just like in our own everyday lives, our lives change, right? Like, it's ridiculous, the stuff that changes in a day. Like, just start writing it down. You know, when you realize something changed, just start writing it down and count it up at the end of the day. It's crazy, crazy. So, you know, then we get new platforms, right? And so some folks are smelling, they're sniffing around, they're looking around, they're saying some new stuff is coming. I'm pretty sure, well, I'm not pretty sure, I know some new stuff is coming social media wise. And, you know, anything that comes has the power to change our world. Okay. I want to say that in a positive way. Anything that comes has the power to change our world. So what I will say is, if you remember back in the day when AOL sent out the CDs that you needed to get online, right? You are now connected, right? Yeah, it went from that, right, to just touching a button. You are automatically connected. Like, your computer comes on, you're connected to the Wi-Fi, you're good to go, right? And then, you know, one of our first social platforms was what? MySpace. Everybody had a MySpace page, and it was pretty popular. You know, I never really, and I'm just being 100% transparent here. You know, I never really did get the MySpace. Like, you know, I think it was too early for me. You know, I had one, and I had some people on it, and I had some friends around on it, you know, but I really didn't get it. Like, whatever. Then this thing came out called Facebook, and it changed everything. Like, everything overnight, it changed, or it felt like it was overnight, right? Like, suddenly there was a mass exodus on MySpace, and everybody was on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then Twitter came along, and, you know, all these other
Snapchat. Oh, so then you got WhatsApp. You got, I don't know. Now we've got the new one, the Judo, Zenduju.
Zenduji or Zenduja or whatever it's called.
Hey, you know what? I didn't know what the name of it was. I was trying to Google it last night. I went through every Ven and Zen thing I could think of. Well, then finally I just got back on Facebook and looked it up, but that's going to be the new thing that we're all going to be doing, I guess. And the way it works is you have to be invited. So we'll start inviting people. Me and Chris will, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Can I talk about this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm not supposed to, am I? Okay.
Go.
Okay. And basically, what it's going to do is it's going to track all your social media stuff. Like everything you do on social media, like, when you respond to things, Chris was telling you last week, if you make replies to things and comments on things, it brings your levels up in your analytics come up in your social media thing. And so you get more stuff that you're looking for. They have a better way to gauge you, basically, your interest.
And they're tracking it in a way that, I've had my page a couple days and I've been poking around on it, and you as a customer, right, as a participant, you can't really do a whole lot with it just yet. Yeah. There's a few people that I know that have some admin capability and they can do some stuff with it. And I was looking and it'll tell you what your rank number is globally. Yeah. Right. It says it at the top of your page. And so you can rank on a daily basis as to whether you're improving or if you're digressing, mm-hmm. or what the case may be. And so I feel as if though that could be really helpful if for no other reason, those of us who are engaged, mm-hmm. social media wise, right, and trying to reach out to people, we will have a better idea of, the scope of our reach, I guess is the right way to say it. Sure. Now, when that comes out and it goes, live, will Facebook come out with something to compete with it? Who knows? Yeah. They might. But at the end of the day, I feel as if though, we're going to start seeing a lot more social media. And the reason is because people have gone to this, y'all. Yeah. I'm sitting on a computer right now. I've got my Mac open and I'm on my Mac. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you take a study, if you do a survey, you're going to end up with something like 65% of people are doing this now. So we're over that 50% mark. Okay. Which means that we've become even more social than we realize that we've become. So people are doing everything with this, though, Joe. They're balancing their checkbook. Stuff
there that don't hardly work on a computer. That won't work on your laptop or your desktop. Mm-mm. Programs that are made for the phone and they don't go. Coinbase is one of them. Coinbase
because they build it for mobile apps.
Yeah, they built it for the mobile. I mean, it's kind of like I can do more stuff on the mobile than I can on the thing, which I'm still fighting with Coinbase. No, yeah, but just yeah. Oh, hey, I went to my bank today to get a new debit card because one of them had been turned off because of all the stuff going on with Coinbase. So I have to make me a new card because they deactivated that one. No problem. Mm-hmm. Same card, great. Yeah. They linked it to another account. It's not for I've got multiple accounts. And I was like, and I'm not even mad at them because right now it's just kind of par for the course. I'm getting after you get hit in the head enough times with a sledgehammer, you get used to it. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, and I know Correct. We don't really, our gripes really aren't much considered. I don't know if y'all are reading all this stuff, but what's going on in Nigeria right now is real bad.
I was getting ready to say, Emma, we're really sorry to hear that.
There? Doesn't the UN keep the contingent there? I mean, I know they don't do a whole lot, but
they are going to need the superpowers.
Yeah, they'll need somebody to come in. We don't want another Rwanda. You know what I mean?
Yep, they're going to need the superpowers in there.
They shouldn't have. You know what I mean? Because the UN won't do anything unless you shoot at them first. And
so that's a really, really bad situation over there. Please keep us posted on that. And I don't rely on global news to tell me about stuff like that. So firsthand information is appreciated. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. Love and light towards you guys and all of your country.
Oh, hey, Gloria, they gave me the wrong card. Gloria just got on. They gave me a debit card for the other account, not for the account that I needed the debit card for.
So you know, when Joe talked to you guys about the new platform, the new social platform, I want you guys to actually see what that looks like. So I'm going to actually share screen with everybody so you all can see what that looks like. Excuse me.
But like what the ranking system is like the top 50 people. Now, this is what I read earlier. The top 50 people every week, you're going to get some kind of a prize. And I think what they're going to do is you can set a wallet up and they're going to tokenize everything for gifts. You know, kind of like, so they'll give you tokens basically, which, hey, that's great for us because this is all built on the blockchain. That's why there's little blocks everywhere. I bet, I would think.
So here's kind of what this looks like, everybody. We're not quite there yet, are we? Yes, we are there. Okay, we're there. Good. All right. So this is what we look like. Okay, and as you can see, mine's set up for social media right now. This is just a page. Okay, and you create pages on this, and then what happens is you drive people to look at something that you put on a page. Right. The more people that look at your page, okay, the higher your rank goes up over here. See, my world rank right now is 967. Okay, and that's in the United States, 967. So I'm in the top 1,000. Okay.
Where does it say 967?
Right here on the right.
Oh, our pictures are over it. Hold on. Oh, I see right there. Duh. So
now you see this clock at the top. All right. So they give you a calendar week, right? Like they give you, I'm going to hesitate to say 7 days because I'm not sure. I didn't look at it when it was created. So I'm not sure if it's exactly 7 days or not. But they give you X amount of days for a campaign. It's literally like running an ad campaign. Okay. Yeah. To the best of my understanding. And I'm brand new to it. So if I say something incorrect, please forgive me, but that's how I understand it. If you look over here on the left-hand side, you see that I've got one of one playing. So if I have, say, 15 pages, it would say maybe this was one of 15 here. Okay. So this under Crypto Let's Talk Day, right there, that's how many times it's been seen. 8 times. Cool. So it was just put up last night. So if anybody was familiar with the old Wave Score, it's kind of exactly like Wave Score. So if you really want to know more about it, you can probably
Wave Score.
You could probably do a little bit of research on Wave Score, and you'd get it right off the bat. You'd understand.
I'm pretty sure it's all based off Wave Score, isn't it? Completely. I think. I mean, when you look it up, they're all completely intermingled. I mean, there's not like this is sort of like this. This is behind this.
Right. I think this is laid over top of it in a way, exactly. If you will. So that's what it looks like. I know everybody hates to be told about something new and they don't get to see it. So that's kind of why I shared that with everybody. Hey, Dane. Hey, Albert. How are you guys doing today? So, at the end of the day, I just wanted to show you guys because Joe was talking about the new thing coming. Yeah. So, this is just one of the things, right? And with the blockchain and with cryptocurrency, I expect to see a lot more stuff coming. And the only reason that I say that is because, when you get more people on the platforms, they slow down, and people don't want to be slow. Like literally, they don't want to be slow. What do I mean by slow? I can remember being on Facebook back in the day, and I couldn't read the feed. It was moving so fast. Now, I don't know about any of you all. I'm on a Mac, and I've got an HP, a new HP laptop, and I've got my phone, and I've got an iPad, and my Facebook page doesn't move by itself at all on any of those devices anymore. So, that's what I mean by slow. Okay. Now, can you get the word out about something really quickly? Absolutely. Can you communicate with your friends and family? Absolutely. There's 222 again. Where's Dawn? So can you participate in these things and get the word out and become relevant? Yes, absolutely. On all of them, y'all. On all of them. You know, I got a young lady who's very near and dear to me. She's a Pinterest person. Okay. And she's figuring out how to sell life insurance and home mortgage warranties on Pinterest.
That's pretty
Okay,
smart.
because she just likes Pinterest, and there's a lot of people on Pinterest.
Is this a person that's near me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thought so.
Yeah, and then for those of you who are Instagram folks, okay, the other day I hadn't used Instagram in forever. I was completely transparent about that. I told all of you guys that I had to go in and reset it up. Basically, what I did was just update it, and since then, I've been checking in there every once in a while, Instagram, right? Just to see what people are posting on it, because I've never posted anything on Instagram. Still, if you go see my Instagram page, I haven't posted. But what I did notice, and I told Joe about this last week, is now they have the ability to live stream from Instagram. So, the things that are coming, the things that have happened, the things that get done on a daily basis, and the changes that come through social media, they happen quick. And if you're not on top of it, you'll miss it. Okay. So make sure that whatever your preferred method of social media is, that you're up to speed with it. Like, I think the last time we had a discussion about some different platforms, Joe, there were a couple people that said that they really liked LinkedIn. And I think somebody even asked me, did I have a LinkedIn? And I said, I do, but it's outdated. And, I never really got it. It was very professional. I felt like it was a bunch of lawyers and doctors and stuff like that. And so, if you're a LinkedIn person, then maybe you need to stay in the know on what's going on with the LinkedIn, Instagram, just Google Plus. A lot of people don't even use Google Plus. They have Google accounts and they don't even know that they have a Google Plus page. Seriously, they have no idea.
What is Google Plus?
Google Plus is a lot like Facebook, really.
Is it?
Oh. It is.
I just thought it was another thing. I mean, because I've got the OneDrive or whatever. Google.
No, that's Google Drive. Google Drive is for storage. Google Plus is it's Google on steroids, and basically what I call it is Google's answer to Facebook. Oh, okay. It's a social media platform.
I guess I need to get into that because I see stuff where it comes up a lot, but I'm just like,
yeah, I don't use it. I know I have it, but I don't use it. That's crazy, right?
Like on our computers, when we get Google Chrome, I think all that stuff should just load in immediately. Instead of asking you if you want it, just give it to you. If you don't use it, don't use it. But
it's in Chrome and it's under apps, and it did load. You just haven't activated it.
Okay, because Chrome's like my browser.
All you have to do is click on it. If you're not using it, guys, all you have to do is click on it and actually, just poke around, I guess is what I would recommend. I'm getting asked if we're doing a presentation today at 3.
Yeah.
So I'm answering that, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry.
No problem.
So
what y'all doing? What were we talking about? Social media. Hey guys, we're almost done with the social media month.
What are we talking about?
We're gonna keep you. We're gonna keep bringing stuff up about it. We're gonna change our focus probably next month to talking about Joe and Chris more. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna talk about us. We're like, hey, this is what's going on, Joe. This is what's going on, Chris. Right. Yeah, we're gonna tell you that if Bitcoin's low, you should buy it. Don't sell it.
What is Bitcoin today, y'all? Does anybody know? I haven't even had a chance to look.
It was 61 earlier.
61. Okay, good.
The other day it got down to 58, man. I wish I would have bought some.
It's one of those things where, if you're in the know and you're trying to understand everything that's happening, then you realize that these low swoops are your opportunity to buy those Satoshis, right? To buy the pieces and to accumulate a coin a little along. There are a lot of people that want to get into the crypto world, and they don't want to come up with, you know, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, whatever dollars, right? And so, you know, if you've been on one of our presentations, you know very well that you can buy Satoshis, right?
Exactly.
And so, you know, I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't advise people. I just tell people what I do or what I would do in a certain situation. And, you know, when it's low like that, for me, that's a sign of opportunity. Yeah. So, you know,
especially if you're taking advantage of trading right now and watching all the lows, track your stuff back. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling anybody how to do this. I'm going to tell you how I do it. We got a whole sea of red, okay? So everything's dropping. So go back and look to when it was green and look at it. Look at your levels, you know, your candlesticks and your Bollinger Bands and all that, your peaks and valleys, okay? You know, you want to buy the dip. So if we're going down, if something's got a solid history, you can pretty well account that it's going to be a solid history, most likely, you would think, okay? Now, I don't know that for sure. Like I said, it's all guesswork. But you can make educated guesses, you know, and that's what it is. Like, you know, all these people out here that try to, like they treat it like futures, you know, so they're like trying to go, oh, the market's going to go right here at this time. Well, you know, there's a lot of math goes into that and stuff, but nobody really does know. I mean, it's not like 2 + 2. It's not quite that. It's not that simple, and it's not that reliable. You know what I mean?
People get close. People get
you can get close. But if you see a good history on something, if something's been trading at $1 forever, and you're like, man, it's at $1, it's at $1, it's at $1. Sometimes it goes up to $1.25. Sometimes it goes down to 85 cents. And right now it's at, you know, 80 cents. There's a pretty good chance it's going to come back to that dollar. You know what I mean? It's just that people are scared right now, you know, but if something's solid across the thing in a used coin, you know, and this is stuff where you have big market caps, you have good trade volume. You know, this isn't the thing that has a $100,000 market cap and they traded $95 worth of yesterday.
No,
that's probably not a good investment. I don't care if that's gone up 3,000. I saw something this morning that went up 2,000 and something percent. I'm like, oh, really?
That's market manipulation.
On one exchange that I don't even never heard. I don't know, some crazy exchange that we can't even deal with if we're in America, anyways. So, and be careful on your trading stuff. Look up your markets before you get excited.
Yeah,
because some stuff some companies you can't work with because you're in the United States. If you're in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Aloha, Sharon. That's why I was delayed in responding to you. I apologize. We're on live, babe. So, you know, and Joe makes a very good point. You know, if you're interested in the day trading, if you're interested in buying coins, make sure that, you know, that coin is available in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, now
I screwed up on that one on something.
It can be an interesting feeling to get really excited, and I'm just being very generic here, but it can be a very interesting feeling to be very excited about something and then want to go buy it, and then you can't because it's not available in the States. So, you know, make your marks, make sure that you keep good records, just like we've told everybody. Before you put money in the market, do it on paper first. See what it looks like. Mm-hmm. You know, see if it's even applicable where you're at. Okay.
And make sure you're able to get money in. That's the hardest thing to do. I would say the hardest thing to get past in the cryptocurrency world is actually getting the cryptocurrency. Mm-hmm. It really is difficult. I mean, it's not that it's difficult, but there's a little bit of time consumed in it. And then once you've been in and then something messes up, like right now I'm locked out, which is killing me. You know, and I'm like, you know, and I'm like, I wish, you know, is there somewhere where you can just swipe a credit card and get it? Yeah, if there was a coin me machine here, but there's not. You know what I mean? Or it's another country that won't deal with the United States. Or they want, you know, $500 worth, you know, and you're going, okay, I get it. But, or you can do an ACH, but that's 300. You know what I mean? There's nowhere you can just make it simple. You know, there's not a lot of simple transactions without using these companies that some of us don't like, or that have screwed us around, or something's messed up, or who knows. You know what I mean? Right. There really needs to be something simple. You know what I mean? Like a local exchange would be great. I don't see why they don't have the charge people.
Well, and And here's the thing.
I'm at the point where I wouldn't care to pay 10%. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing as well, is that most people, you know, when they're trying to buy, they want to buy in small quantities to begin with. Yeah. And the smaller quantities, you know, quite honestly, the exchange don't want to deal with them. They don't want to come up off of it. They, you know, it doesn't pay enough. You know, at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you can get what you need to get when you need to get it.
Right.
So if you have some Bitcoin, the problem is that at the prices that things are right now, nobody really wants to sell any Bitcoin either, you know, because they don't want to liquidate at the price that it is.
Right.
So you run into these things on a regular basis, and every single day it's a new challenge, and you just have to figure out which one you're going to tackle today.
Right.
You know, that's how it is. So we are excited about the things that are going on. We are also we are also kind of waiting, like a lot of other people, on the sidelines, holding our breath to see exactly where Bitcoin's going. You know, it's not a big secret that it's been down. Everybody's a little bit worried. I'm not really that worried about it. I just would like to know, when is it going to go back up like everybody else, right?
Yeah, it kind of needs to level off or go up. You know, and I know a lot of people are probably losing right now, because a lot of people tried to jump in a few months back, you know, when it was at 66, 67 and going up, and then everybody got excited, you know, and now it's down to 61 again. You know, I think our low was 58. That's the year low. That was a couple days ago. Just remember, take this opportunity to make the most out of it and buy, you know.
Sorry, you haven't lost.
Sorry if you bought at 67. Just be glad that you didn't buy at 9,000.
Right.
You're that far now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you got to think about something too. Like, this is the money going into cryptogenics. And so they've got some of those coins that were 9,000 that are worth 5 now or 6 now. So, I mean, they've taken a loss. They've taken a pretty good hit depending on when things came in. But, you know, that it adds up, you know, and I'm not, you know, it's one thing you kind of got to think of, you know, so take this opportunity to buy, you know, buy you know, it's buy the
dip. Remember, the biggest thing is, y'all, you're not losing a dime unless you sell. You are not losing a dime unless you liquidate. So if you don't want to lose, don't liquidate, you know.
Yeah, you know,
crypto is a great lesson in patience.
Yeah, right.
A great lesson in patience.
It's so weird too, because looking at all this stuff, you know, with everything tracks with Bitcoin pretty much, and that's good in a way, I guess. But I personally don't like it. I'd like to see some other things jump. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's just from an investment standpoint. You know, I'd like to see a few more coin get bigger. You know what I mean? Do some massive growth. And so we don't just have one leader that everything else is resting on. You know, that would give more, because I mean, we're basically centralizing everything off Bitcoin, if you want to know the truth. I mean, it's no different.
It does kind of make things feel that way, you know?
You know, I mean, and I know that's not really it, but you're kind of like, well, okay, so Bitcoin's down. Why is my Tether down? Or not Tether, but why is Tron down? Tron's got nothing to do with it. Ethereum's not even the same thing. Why is it down? You know what I mean? And it's, you know, that thing in the market, and you'd have to get a push of a whole lot of people to get behind something else. And
well,
you know, everybody's.
But a big part of that, Joe, is that you know, when Bitcoin goes down, people begin to panic. When they begin to panic, what happens is all of those other coins, people start liquidating those too. So the mentality goes from I'm winning to I've lost. I don't want to lose anymore. Let me get out. And that's the mentality. That's exactly how it goes. Like,
the psychology of it.
Piece of paper.
Did you see the psychology thing? You saw the thing. Yeah. Yep.
So, you know, in a day, the typical person that's got crypto investments is, you know, from one end of the spectrum happy to the other end of the spectrum crying in their, you know, in their Kool-Aid because they don't know whether they're winning or losing. So, you know, you just have to get unemotional. You really do have to get unemotional. This is not a game for people that are managing themselves on a high emotion.
Right.
It is what you want to do when you can look at it and go, well, it's that today. And so, being the person that I am, being an Aries, being a blue, emotion is part of my life. So, a lot of people probably wonder, well, how do you deal with that? Well, I deal with it by a whole lot of days. I just don't even open Preve or GDAX at all. Like I hear, chatter, it's down today, it's up today or whatever. Or I open a news source that has the ticker on the top and I see. Right. But, I don't make it a point of checking Bitcoin 20 times in a day when it's down. Mm-hmm. Now, on the opposite side of that coin, when it's up, I'm checking it 20 times a day, right?
Yeah,
because it's moving fast. So, you just have to know what your limitations are as a person. Each person should know what their limitations are and how they can do it and survive without feeling like, the roof is coming down on them. Exactly. Basically. So, and that can be hard to do, especially in the beginning. Especially the newer investors, like you were talking about, that 3 months ago they got in when it was 83 or 9,000.
Oh no,
it's down at 6. But it's going to go back up. We all know that it'll go back up.
Well, this is the thing you have to look at too. The majority of the people that are in this, like that market cap, all that money that was purchased that's in it, they didn't buy at 6. Mm-hmm. They bought at 12 and 13. And you know what I mean? And lower, you know what I mean? And maybe 4,000 or something, or 3,500. That's where the bulk of all the money is. So for the people that recently just bought in this last hit, or if you bought on the way up, when it was almost to 20, and you bought at 17,000, I'm sorry, that sucks. I mean, but it really does.
Well, that's where the education comes.
For a lot of people, it's not down right now. It may be down from that 20, or maybe down from 10. Or the 9 that it got up to this year so far, but it's still not down. You know what I mean? Right now, it's not down if you bought at 12.
Well, that's where the education comes in, Joe. A lot of people, they got FOMO when it started climbing, and it hit that 12, then it hit 13, then it hit 14, then it hit 15. And, they kept waiting because they were like, well, when it comes down, and I heard this over and over and over, when it comes down, I'm going to buy some more. When it comes down, I'm going to buy some more. And we just didn't come down for a while. Right. And people got bad FOMO, and they leaped on an upswing where if they were educated, had they taken the cryptogenics classes, they wouldn't have done that. Because they would know that that's the worst place to buy. They would have literally waited for it to come back down because it was bound to come down, But at the end of the day, we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to learn. Most of the time we learn more from the black eyes than we do from the reading and the studying. So, we all have some of those. We have war stories. And that's just the way it is. So, everybody knows that on today, Tuesdays, we actually cut our show short on Tuesdays so we can get ready for our KGX. So we do have a presentation today at 3:00. It's at kgxglobal.info, kgxglobal.info. And we do those on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then we also have them on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. And, it's summer, and we thought about scaling these down, but quite honestly, as long as one person gets the information, that's all that matters. And it's actually nice when the crowds are a little bit smaller and more intimate because you can learn things that you wouldn't learn otherwise. I'll be honest, when there's a big crowd, usually we do the presentation, we cut it off and we're gone. If it's an intimate crowd.
But a lot of times when they're smaller, a more intimate group, and if we all kind of know each other, that's when Chris and I get on there and really start talking. We'll give you some of the ins and outs of some things that we know. That's not just all the normal common knowledge. It's more than what the presentation gives. If you already know the presentation, if you know the pay structure, you know it pretty much.
Right.
So we kind of try to cater that to you a little bit, and go, hey, this is the new thing that just came out. Let's talk about it for a little bit. We can share a screen and show you things. And we just try to make it the best value for your dollar, let's say. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the price is right, free. So.
Absolutely. And so we also want to remind everybody, don't forget,
Sorry.
check your blogs. That's where all the news comes out, right? And so
and
I know the 4-5 is working on some stuff. I can't say anything about the stuff they're working on, but they're working on some stuff. And so I would just keep my eyes peeled, on the blog, because you never know when that might happen. It could be in the middle of the night for all we know. Did you say you had one more thing, John?
Yeah, one more thing. If you guys are doing a little trading out there and when you look at your charts, you got that big peak right in the middle of it right now, that was back around January. Okay, that's not a real peak. That's not real. Everything jumped up because Bitcoin was almost 20 grand. That's not a real number. I mean, that's not real.
No,
it's really not.
Hey, Whitney, it's nice
don't
to see
expect
you, Whitney. Love you.
That to go there. You know what I mean? Don't be like, well, I'm going to buy it at this because it's going to go on up here. Probably not. No, I mean,
No.
not now. You know what I mean? Now,
Nope.
Bitcoin loses 20. Yeah, everything's going to go back up. But that's everything follows Bitcoin. That's why your lines
And if you're not keeping up with the news, just to kind of, because this seems to have been a downward spiral today on Bitcoin, to leave it on an upward spin, I will say that in the news, it's trending in the crypto news quite a lot that, they're predicting 30, 50, in the next 6 months. Is this possible? I got asked that yesterday. Is this possible? Absolutely, it's possible. Anything is possible. We saw 20, and if you look back every single year that Bitcoin has been in existence, it's been something like a 400% growth over the previous year.
There's never been less than 2, I think.
Right.
Right.
So, if you look at that and you kind of, compare apples to oranges, you have to make decisions for yourself. You can't go, oh, well, Chris said they're going to go up in the next 6 months. No, I didn't. I said the news was saying that it's trending in that direction. So, there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about in the centralized world and all that kind of stuff. And all of that has a factor. All of that has a factor. Now, if you are interested in seeing what might be coming, Mr. Rob Harris, who just popped on our live, follow his page because he's really good. He's really, really good at extracting the type of articles and extracting the type of educational material, if you will, that explains what's going on and why things are actually happening. And you probably see that I share some of his posts every now and then because I want you guys to be able to see what's going on. I'm not a thief. I'm a sharer. I'm a lover, right? Not a fighter. So, I'm just sharing Rob's stuff. Exactly. But at the end of the day, he really does have a lot of good stuff. And
check out the psychology thing that he put up. It makes a lot of sense too.
You bet, Rob. No worries, man. I'll always plug you, buddy. Rob's been in a little bit longer than I have, so he's seen some of these upsy downsies that everybody is worried about and that everybody is talking about. And whenever I get a little bit nervous, because I'm not human, right? Like. Your mind goes to a dark place every once in a while and you go, I wonder what's going on. I just go to Rob's page and look at what he's posting because he always has something there that is important and plugs into the applicable situation at that moment. So looking forward to that. Go ahead, Joe.
Did you see the thing the other day that came up it was on Facebook, but it was a Twitter and it said it was Warren Buffett's Twitter page. And it said he just bought 2.5 billion in Bitcoin. You're like, oh, really?
Yeah. Now,
maybe he did, but no, he didn't.
Now, here's what I.
If we'd have had a $2.5 billion increase, a purchase in one day.
Where was the bump in the market? Yeah. Where was the bump in the market? Because if he was buying, some other folks were buying too. Right. And that much of a volume, there should have been a blip at least.
Be careful with what you hear and see because some of it's. If
I don't know that's
completely wrong, and I'll be honest with you, it's just not the kind of investment Warren Buffett makes.
I'm not convinced.
He likes them, and people like ice cream and hamburgers, and always have and always will. Don't care what side of the aisle you're on, what side of the fence you're on, whether you walk on your hands or your feet. Everybody likes hamburgers and ice cream. I mean, you know what I mean? he doesn't buy controversial things. Geico insurance, everybody needs insurance.
So,
You know what I mean?
that was one of those things that I looked at and went, really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's funny.
That one.
But I was thinking,
Now,
man, somebody's going to see that and believe it. You know what I mean? And then
I didn't have time
go
to
mortgage their house and invest it because they think they're investing with Berkshire Hathaway, and you're not. If you want to invest with Berkshire Hathaway, go invest with Berkshire Hathaway. I mean, you know what I mean?
I didn't have time to research it, so I didn't put much effort into it. I'll be honest. I just kind of put it in the back here in a filing cabinet and said, maybe we'll see.
I just thought it was funny. It was just one of those funny things.
Here's another thing that's possible too. Okay, on the flip side of that coin, because I like to play devil's advocate.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so on the flip side of that coin, if he bought the 2.5 million, if it's a true story, true story, okay, right. If it's a true story, then he had to have bought it on the off market because there was no blip, y'all.
Right.
Okay. So, and are there places that you can get that much Bitcoin out there? Well, you could probably go to multiple sources and you could get it and it wouldn't affect the system. Me personally, whatever. Whatever.
All right, I think tomorrow, let's do some research and maybe tomorrow get with them over some of the hack stuff that's been happening. You know what I mean? That's scaring people. I had a conversation with somebody about that the other day. They asked about the South Korean one. And I don't think they're hacking the systems. They're putting worms in, or like a Trojan horse or something. And I think that's what's happening because it's coming in through a coin. It's not coming in to the systems, I don't think. See what I mean?
Hey, Rob, if you have any information on that, how about shoot it over to me in a personal message, please? I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then we could educate ourselves better and talk about it a little bit some tomorrow. If you have anything on that, I would greatly appreciate it, Rob. So we're going to jump over to
we got to go. We love you guys.
AGX Global.
I got it for the thing. Yeah.
And we're going to give a presentation. So y'all come on. We'll see y'all later. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Love all y'all. Mm-hmm.